We will alter the agenda just slightly to allow for a special presentation. So at this time, Mr. Manager, would you introduce the next action?
Thank you, Mayor. Culmination of the nomination period for 2017 Business Person of the Year wrapped up, and the Economic Development Advisory Group is going to make that presentation with tonight's meeting. With that being said, I'd call on the chair of the Economic Development Advisory Group, Phil Perkins. Phil?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Manager, trustees, and village staff and visitors. We are here tonight to present the 9th annual Park Forest Business Person of the Year Award. It was renamed a couple years ago as the Sam Montella Business Person of the Year Award to recognize Sam Montella, who had been dedicated head of the Economic Development Advisory Group. And I've succeeded him, and hopefully I am following in his footsteps and doing a pretty good job. We'll see. Again, my name is Philip Perkins. I'm currently chair of the Economic Development Advisory Group. And I've got a couple members in the audience. I've got Mike Jordan and Bree Breedlove, and I believe that's all that are here tonight. As I said earlier, this is our 9th recognition of the business owners of excellence in the community and those that make a difference. The Park Forest Currency Exchange opened its doors in October of 1949 instead of Park Forest Plaza, making it the longest continuous business in the village, having celebrated their 68th anniversary this month. Their current location on Orchard is the third spot it is occupied, with the first two having been inside the original plaza. They have been at that location for 33 years since moving there in 1984. Oddly enough, it was not the first business opened by Ed's family. In the founding days of the Park Forest Plaza, Ed's maternal grandfather opened both the Park Forest Plaza Barbershop, and the Park Forest Plaza Beauty Shop. Shortly after that, Ed's father opened the Park Forest Currency Exchange. All three businesses were fixtures in the plaza for decades. Through their active involvement in the Community Currency Exchange Association of Illinois, of which Ed is currently on the board of directors as their treasurer, the Czupryns are involved each year in the Back to School Illinois program, which literally builds thousands of back-to-school kits containing pencils, pens, papers, notebooks, and other school supplies that are given out to students who can't afford to purchase these items. Those kits are then distributed by the various sponsors to local schools and also military families throughout Illinois. The association is one of the 4 major sponsors of the program. The association, through Back to School, also gives out 4 $2,500 college scholarships every year. For the last 5 years, the Park Forest Currency Exchange, on its own, has purchased 400 of the kits from the Back to School and personally distributed them to the Park Forest area school districts. This August, Ed and Monica, along with their daughter Jessica, presented 100 kits to the Park Forest School District 163. One of the nominators highlighted that he first met Ed Czupryn in the early 1990s while assigned to the Park Forest Police Investigations Division. His insight into the workings of money orders, wire transfers, car titles, and the way illegal money could possibly be moved around was invaluable as we attempt to break up a number of money laundering and drug rings operating within the village. Armed with that knowledge, the police department was able to seize large amounts of money and, through the state's asset forfeiture laws, use those funds to purchase computers, squad cars, bulletproof vests, and other needed items, which then saved the burden of those purchases from the taxpayers of the village during the budget time each year. That relationship started over 25 years ago, continues to this day, not only with me personally, but with the village police department. One nominator describes for how 15 years Sherry, an employee at the Park Forest Currency Exchange, treated her mom with dignity and grace when she came in to cash her disability check. And after her mom's passing, now still treats her with the same professional patience to the elderly and those with challenged disabilities, a friendly smile, and warm words to all. Another nominator mentioned that Ed supported Little League baseball teams. The currency exchange provides a much-needed service to the village residents, allowing them to pay their phone, gas, electric, and other utility bills. Residents are able to apply for, renew license plates, update vehicle titles, cash payroll checks, and wire transfer funds, have items notarized, and obtain money orders, just to name a few of their provided services. It further provides a safe place for the distribution and cashing of monthly state assurance checks, assistance checks for the Park Forest residents, as checks are delivered directly to the currency exchange. Each month, the Park Forest Currency Exchange serves over 1,000 Park Forest residents who walk through their doors at 98 South Orchard. So it is my pleasure to present the 9th Annual Park Forest Business Person of the Year Awards, now renamed the San Montella Business Person of the Year Award, to Ed Czupryn of the Park Forest Currency Exchange. Ed, if you could come up.
Thank you.
Would you like to say some words?
This is so overwhelming. I'd like to thank the mayor and the board and all the trustees. My history here in Park Forest goes way back. When my grandfather opened in 1949 with the barber shop and had me at the age of 7 running his cash register in 1964 because the barber shop was so busy. And it took so long for, they were all Italian barbers, so they all liked to talk. And he figured it took him 5 minutes to walk from their chair after they cut somebody's hair to go collect the money and then get back to their chair. So he put me in there from the age of 7 till I was 12, until he sold the barbershop. And it was a great experience. He taught me that hard work, honesty, and good customer service was my And from there, I moved on to work with my father. I worked with him in the currency exchange business through my college years, paid for my own college that way, my tuition, and grew at one point up to 6 stores. We had a store in University Park. We had a store in Glenwood. We had one in Sauk Village. Park Forest, always my dad would call the flagship store, because he didn't want to lose that status. And currently, we still retain a store in Frankfort, Mokina, and Richton Park, and of course, Park Forest. This is a true honor. But I have to say that it's my grandfather, my dad, and of course our customers. We have customers that have been coming in for over 40 years still. It's just a true pleasure and I still try to work the window, as we call it in our industry, but it's rough because compliance is so tough nowadays, and you have to do so much paperwork and behind-the-scenes work to be compliant that it doesn't afford me that luxury as much. But the one-on-one with the customers is great, and this is fantastic. I can't say any more. And great police department in this town, always. Great fire department in this town, always. Just unbelievable. And thank you very much for this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And this is for everybody. For our customers, this is for our staff, not just us. It's for everybody. Thank you.
And on behalf of the board, I want to congratulate you and the members of your staff and your wife and family for the good work that you've done over the years with the Village of Park Forest. And, the rich history of your family in our community is one that I think, it's great. It's a testimony to your family, but it's also an element of pride for us that we have a business that has had that kind of connection in the community going back to 1949. That's a long time.
Yes.
Congratulations. We wish you many, many more years of success, and it's a well-deserved honor for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it.